Hi, I'm going to show you how to crochet a infinity scarf in about 2 hours. I just started learning how to do this, so it has taken me a little bit longer than 2 hours. So what you need to start with is a 5 gauge crochet hook and a 19 gauge knitting needle. Now, I tape mine together because I want my holes to be a little bit bigger um, in my infinity scarf. So what you need to do is you need to start off with a skein of yarn, and you need to make your first loop and leave about a 4 to 5 inch tail on it, and then you're gonna single crochet 30 single crochets. So then after you've got your 30 single crochets, you're going to pull your yarn up, and this is where your 19 gauge knitting needle comes in. You're going to put the first loop over the knitting needles. And I like to do this between my legs because it seems to work easier for me. Then you're going to go in through your first single crochet stitch, and you're going to pull it through, and you're going to wrap the next loop over your knitting needle. Then you're going to continue that, and by the time that you're done, you'll have 30 loops over your knitting needle. And another name for this stitch is called a broom handle stitch. And what you can do, instead of using a knitting needle, you can use a broom handle. Of course, you'd have to cut it off smaller so you could put it between your legs or underneath your arm. I've seen people do it where they hold the stick underneath their arms, but whatever works best for you. And you want to kind of keep these loops around the knitting needle kind of loose because we're going to tie all those together with double stitches instead of a single stitch. I'm not as fast as what some people are, and they say that you can actually do this in about 2 hours. I've made a couple of them and given them away as gifts, and it's taken me about 2.5 to 3 hours to do, but it's kind of relaxing for me. And I've just started crocheting, so I think I've done pretty good so far that I've got the time down to about 2.5 to 3 hours. You just want to continue on until you got your 30 loops over your knitting needle. You can do this if you want bigger loops. Just find something that's a little bit bigger than your 19 gauge knitting needle. Usually after I get done doing them, I kind of spread them out, and then I usually count to see, to make sure I have 30 loops in there. And I have exactly 30. So here's my tail, and here's my spool of yarn, skein of yarn. So then what you're going to do is you're going to flip this around to the other side. Then you're going to take the first 5 loops and you're going to pull them off the knitting needle. Then you're going to do a single crochet stitch, just to kind of, you want to kind of stick your finger through the loops there, the 5 loops, and you're going to just do a single crochet, and you're not going to count that first one. Then after that, you're going to do the double crochets and you're going to count them. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4. So then after you have the 5, they look like this. Then you're going to take the next 5 and you're going to pull them off. I usually wrap that tail around my pinky finger. And this one, you're not going to have to do that first locking stitch. So you're just going to count the 5. So here's 1. Once you get that one, you want to slide it down to kind of lock it in. Then you're going to do 2, 3, 4, 5. So then you have the 2 there. Then you're going to pull off the next 5 and you're going to continue to do the same thing. Now once you get through all 30 loops, there's 1, 2, 3, 5. So you got your 3 already started, so there's 15. Excuse me. Once you get through all 30 of your loops, I'll just finish these real quick and then I'll show you. Pull that down so it locks it in. I've watched some videos to where they take all the loops off, but I haven't been able to master that one yet. Okay, then I got my last 5. So I'm going to do the same thing with that. So then you have your row here. So then that's how you get your little holes in each one. So then you're going to flip this around. So every time you do a row, you're going to flip it around to the other side. And this is where your knitting needle comes in. You're going to go in through that first, you're going to put this around the knitting needle again, and then you're just going to continue with your second row, going in your first stitch, doing your single crochet, and then continuing on until you have 30 loops again. And you will continue to do this until you have the whole skein of yarn used. Once you get the whole skein used, I've started one and I'm about, I'd say about 1/4 of a way done. And after you get that far, then it comes out and starts looking like this. And that's how you get the loops in there and the holes in your infinity scarf. And then you can just sew the 2 ends together and wrap it around your neck. That's how you make an infinity scarf in about 2 hours. If you're a lot faster than I am, you could probably get it done in the 2 hours, but it takes me longer. Thanks.